Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kicking with Kipes. Let's go over what happened in the NHL last night. There were two games. One of them did not go the way I wanted it to. That's not even true, though. In my predictions, I did say the Florida Panthers would win this game, but I was hoping that I was wrong, obviously, because I'm a diehard Leafs fan. But it is what happened. The Florida Panthers, they win. The game it ended up going into overtime where Brad Marchand, he scored to make the game 5-4 in favor of the Florida Panthers. Why? Is it always Brad Marchand that is putting the nail in the coffin, always causing havoc against the Toronto Maple Leafs? We just cannot seem to get rid of this guy. Let's start from the beginning, though. The Toronto Maple Leafs, they came out of the gate super quick, super hot, and very impressively. Matthew Knies, number 23 of the Toronto Maple Leafs, he scored 23 seconds into the game. Not much longer after that, Jonathan Tavares, JT, he does a beautiful wraparound. He makes Bob look like an idiot. Bob being Bobrovsky, the goalie for the Florida Panthers, he makes him look like a fool. He fakes a shot. Bob bit hard. JT, he wraps around the net. Easy, wide open net for him to tuck that puck into. And then Morgan Rielly, he scores for the Florida Panthers. The Barkov, he gets credit for the goal, but it did go off Morgan Rielly. It was a crazy deflection. If that was a deflection in the offensive zone for the Toronto Maple Leafs, we would have been here talking about how good of a goal it was for Morgan Rielly to put the Leafs up 3-0. But unfortunately, it goes off of Rielly into the back of the net. Nothing Joseph Woll could have done. There's a couple tonight that Joseph Woll could not have done anything about. Now the game is 2-1, and then in comes John Tavares once again. He scores, Leafs up 3-1. But this is where the wheels kind of fall off the wagon for the Leafs. Reinhart, Verhaeghe, and Gadjevich all score consecutively to put the game into a bit of a sketchy area for the Leafs. They are now down 4-3 with not too much time left on the clock. This is a huge goal for Gadjevich, and it makes Paul Maurice, the head coach of the Florida Panthers, look like an absolute genius because he completely revamped that fourth line for the Florida Panthers. He took out 3 players, he put 3 players in, and obviously this one worked. Gadjevich getting a goal. And then Morgan Rielly, he scores for the right team. He scores for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it was a wild deflection as well. So it was kind of justice for Morgan Rielly to be able to score this goal because of how unfortunate the other goal was. But it is now tied 4-4. We head into overtime. With just under 5 minutes to play in the first overtime period, Marchand, he enters the zone. He has a little bit of time. He takes the shot, and it goes off a Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman up over the shoulder of Joseph Woll. He had no idea where that puck was because he was being screened, and that puck was being wonky. So it goes into the back of the net. Marchand's jumping like a little leprechaun, and yeah, game over. 5-4 final for the Florida Panthers. Where do we go from here? Sunday, where the Leafs can take a 3-1 series, or the Florida Panthers can tie up the series to head back to Toronto. I know which one I would much rather prefer. And as a Leafs fan, there's a lot of positives you can take from this game. You went up 2-0 against this team in Florida, where you could have put a stranglehold on them. You didn't, but you had a 2-0 lead on the road in round 2, and that is a positive. You had a 3-1 lead on the road. You put 4 goals past Bobrovsky, who's supposed to be one of the best goaltenders in the league. So, and he's at home. So that is a huge positive to take moving into the next game. Yes, I'm okay with a loss. You're not going to sweep every series, and you're going to lose some games. It's only one loss. It's not time to freak out. The Leafs look very composed. Even after the loss, or even after the Florida Panthers went up 4-3, it didn't seem too stressful. And the Leafs, they take their time, they're controlled, and they let the plays come to them. It's very impressive. And yeah, we will see you Sunday. 5:30 start out west, 7:30 out east. And go Leafs go. Let's get this series back to Toronto with the chance to clinch it. Up next, we got a very easy game to talk about because not much happened. The Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars. The Jets, they lost game 1 at home thanks to Mikko Rantanen on the Dallas Stars getting a hat trick. But the Winnipeg Jets, they returned the favor. The Jets, they win 4-0 over the Dallas Stars. A very commanding, impressive, and very dominant win by the Winnipeg Jets. The Stars had no answers for no one in this game. Gabe Vilardi, he scores his first goal of the playoffs since he was injured for the first little bit of the, who did they play? St. Louis series. Ehlers, he gets his first and second goal of the playoffs. So these are two players that the Winnipeg Jets need to be scoring to get any wins in the playoffs, and they are finally doing so. So that is extremely good news for the Winnipeg Jets. Adam Lowry, the captain of the Winnipeg Jets, he is stepping up when it matters in these games. He scores his fourth of the playoffs. Hellebuck looking unbelievable in this game. I'm not ready to say Hellebuck is hella back, but I am getting closer because he's looking very confident in the crease. Jake Ottinger looked a little weak on some of those goals, but it's the playoffs. Like I said in the Leaf segment, you move on to the next one. This series is tied 1-1. Let's see what they can do in Dallas.